evening.
Good evening. Ms. Lanier, you doing the meeting tonight? Joyce?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Is Tamara on? I can't even see. Conference. You ready to start? We have a quorum?
Do we have 4? I see 3 of us.
Okay.
We need one more.
You have 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4.
Oh yeah, Adriel, Councilwoman, we just need her to show her face. Hello.
Hi, I'm at a candlelight, well, a balloon vigil for the one of those 2 motorcycle riders who were killed on 78. So I knew some of their friends, but I'm on.
Okay. Thank you. We can start.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is a conference meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held via audio video conference on Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Roll call. Council Member Coley,
Present.
Council Member Hilbert, Council Member Montague III,
Present.
Council Member Ross,
Present.
Council Member Summers Johnson, Council Member Wooten,
Here.
and Council President Eason.
Here.
Also present is Joyce Lanier, the city clerk. Tamara Robinson is present. Chris Hartwick, the BA, is present. Director Best.
I'm sitting in for Director Best tonight, Deputy Director Mobley.
Thank you. Chief Brown.
Present.
Now Clement, CFO.
Present.
Vincent DiFilippo, Health Officer. Okay. Paula Fiera, Tax Collector.
Present.
Marty Mays, Public Works Director.
Here.
Gracia R. Montillis, City Attorney.
Aaron Mizrahi, Deputy City Attorney for Mr. Mont.
Thank you. Chris Murray, Tax Assessor.
Mr. Murray's excused.
Okay. Wendy Sykes, Director of Community Service. Absent. Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer.
Present.
Vincent Vidiello, Police Chief.
Present.
Marguerite Homer and Trish Scipio are all here. Can we have a moment of silence? Oh, I'm sorry. Council President, should I also announce that the county representative is here? Well, he's here. Anyway, let's have a moment of silence, please.
I'm sorry. I was on mute. All right.
A moment of silence, please.
Well, as Councilman Wooten is at the vigil, maybe we can dedicate this moment of silence to the motorcyclists and pray for all motorcyclists that's on the road this year during we're coming up on summer, so we're going to see a lot of motorized bikes on the highway. Let's pray them that they will arrive safely to their destination, and we will be very careful as we drive up and down the highways. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Please be apprised, anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall email their statements or questions to citizencomments@orangenj.gov no later than 7 p.m. the prior day to the scheduled public meeting. The city council reserves the right to respond or not respond during the meeting to any citizens' comments. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 EdSec, the Sunshine Law, has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 13th, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. For matters of discussion, we have a health update, and Council President, am I correct? We're gonna have a county update as well?
Yeah, we have to vote on the agenda, so we'll do when we get to that.
Okay. Health Officer Vincent DiFilippo.
I don't think,
He's not here?
I don't see him in.
no, I don't think he's on tonight.
Okay. Director Sykes just entered. So Council President, are there any other matters of discussion? Because the only thing I had was that on the agenda.
Well, you wanna do a motion to suspend the rules, and we heard from our county liaison now?
Their motion to suspend the rules?
Second, Coley.
So
Yep.
the motion was from Councilwoman Easton, second by Council Member Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the rules are suspended. At this time, we'll have an update from the county.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the council. I'm happy to have with me today. I know some last couple of meetings, there was a lively discussion around mental health. So I have the privilege to have Joseph P. Scarpelli here with me, who is our mental health administrator for the County of Essex. Dr. Scarpelli.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Reggie and Council President. Anything you need to discuss or ask me, I'm here to help you in any way I can.
Mrs. Scarpelli, I guess what we are really requesting is that we bring you on, you could do a presentation about mental health and what the county and the state has to offer us as resources that we can tap into, what programs are available for our residents. You think you could put that together and be the matters for discussion for our next meeting?
Sure.
I think that's June what? Looking at
June 18th.
June 18th meeting?
Let me see what I can do, Council President. I'm also a elected official in Nutley, and our meetings are the same nights as your meetings.
Oh, wow.
So
You started.
our meeting is not until Thursday this week because of the primary. So I was able to get in on your meeting tonight.
Mhm.
And Madam President, I was hoping that maybe Dr. Scarpelli can give a brief overview of some of the services that his office provide. And then we can possibly schedule something in the future in light of Dr. Scarpelli being an elected official in Nutley.
So you want to give us a quick overview?
Sure. My office is, I'm the Office of the Mental Health Administrator. We oversee all mental health services in the County of Essex. There's, I don't know, I'll just give a brief overview of some of the basic services. We have 3 screening centers within the county. So those 3 screening centers are Rutgers University Hospital, North Beth Israel, and Clara Moss. And so when someone's in crisis, they're suicidal, danger to themselves or others, most times the police are called 911 and the police will be dispatched and the screeners from the hospital will come out to see that person and determine if they are a danger to themselves or others. If they determine that they are, then they will transport them back to the emergency room and they'll be seen by a psychiatrist. And if they concur with the screener, that the person is a danger to themselves or other, they'll be committed into the hospital under short-term care. So once you're under short-term care, that's usually 20 days. And then if you stabilize within that time, you're released back into the community. If you need longer-term care, you'll either sent to Essex County Hospital Center or onto Greystone or one of the other state facilities in the state. Once you're released either from the short-term care facility or from the hospital, there's a service called Integrated Case Management Services, which will manage you over the next 6 months. Make sure you're either in an outpatient, partial care, or some other place that you're getting help, depending on the severity of what's going on. So that's kind of like a real basic information of how things would work. We have a lot of resources in the community. We have nonprofits, we have for-profits that do community work. The nonprofits serve everybody, no matter your ability to pay. And most people we either have Medicaid, or if they're indigent in some way, they'll also be served. No one's turned away.
Mr. Scarpelli, can you share a phone number with us so I can reach out to you later?
Sure, my number is 973-571-2821. And that's my county office. And if I'm not there, you can speak to Laura, who also works. She works with the children's programs. Her last name's Mattia, Mattia.
And once a person say goes to Greystone, because you realize they need long-term care, how long can they stay there for?
It could be up to a year, could be longer, but most times they stabilize before that and they're discharged.
Any questions anyone have to ask about mental health?
No, but Council President, I just want to let you know that I actually sit on that board. So I can also help you out if you have some questions.
Yep.
If you
We also have a mental health advisory board made up of volunteers. Joyce is one of our volunteers who sits on the board. We have 6 people who sit on that board presently. They're all volunteers, and they help oversee the mental health services. They do a lot of work in the community. They advocate for programs. They actually score RFPs that are being funded by the state. They do a lot of good work in the community, all on a volunteer basis. And since I have Joyce on the line, she should be commended, and they all should be commended for the work they do on behalf of our residents who suffer with mental illness.
That's good to know. Thank you. Did any other council persons have any questions for Mr. Scarpelli? Okay, thank you very much for coming on tonight. We'll be in touch.
Yes, Council President, anything like you come specific, you could email me. Reggie has my email number, my email address. So anything specific that we can answer in any kind of presentation that we put together, that certainly would be helpful to me to know exactly what you're looking for. Because like I said, there is a multitude of services in the county serving a wide variety of needs on the mental health side.
Very good. And you take when there's a crisis, the police department will take that person to either of the hospitals, and you guys will pick it up from there, right?
Yeah, well, they actually come out. They'll actually come out, with the police. There's also a couple other programs out there, and I don't know if Orange is involved in any of these. The police chief would know. There's an Arrive Together program through Robert Wood Johnson. They're in a number of communities. It's really just started the end of last year, but they are looking to have a social worker that will be on site in the police department and then respond to any of the mental health crisis and work with the police hand in hand.
Mr. Scarpelli, hi, Vinny here, Chief of the Orange Police Department. Yes, we are participating in the Arrive program, and it is a wonderful program. And, our guys really enjoy it. And I think we've been, putting a dent in some of the mental health issues we have in our city because of this program.
It's a great program. Like I said, it's started recently, and it's really a different way of approaching, and making sure the police are trained a little bit, so de-escalate problems, and having the social worker there brings a little familiarity to not only the police department, but the people in the community, because we do have people that we encounter every day. The same people kind of show up. I'm sure the police chief will concur on that.
Exactly. And our officers are all trained, not all of them. We're trying to get the whole department trained, but the ones that do ride with the Arrive individual are CIT trained, critical incident training. So yeah, they're pretty, confident in handling people with mental health issues.
So just to dovetail on what the chief said, that's a 40-hour training for police officers in CIT. A big commitment on behalf of the police department to have an officer sit there for a week and get trained. But to have a number of officers trained in CIT, I could commend the chief for doing that.
Thank you, Mr. Scarpelli. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good to know, and we need to maybe make our residents more aware of that. So our police chief will work with you to maybe we can get something out to the community so they will know that we are addressing mental health issues, because a lot of our residents do not know that.
Yes, we've put it out there. We put it out there through our social media and other devices, and word of mouth also through the community. So we are getting the word out there.
Social media doesn't work for everybody, especially our seniors. So we need to do
Exactly. That's why I said that we're going into the community and putting it out in other ways other than social media.
We'll talk offline. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Scarpelli, for your time.
Wait.
You're welcome, everybody. You all have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
And Madam President, that concludes the county update.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move the agenda.
I just wanted to announce that Councilwoman Summers Johnson came in at 7:08, and so did Vincent Filippo.
Mr. DiFilippo, you want to do an update? Vinny, are you there?
No, he was here, but it looks like he's dropped out. No.
Okay, he's probably having some issues.
Yeah.
We're gonna move the agenda. We'll come back to him before we close out the conference meeting. All right.
Okay, Council President. The resolutions and ordinances to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any item, it should be done at this time.
Any council members have any questions or concern on anything that's on the agenda? Councilwoman Wooten still here? Is Councilwoman Wooten still on?
Yeah, she's here.
She's on mute.
Oh, well, let me do the finance report real quick. 24-20-21, we will be taking action on that tonight. We will move it on and vote it down. If we need to do this, we will start it over. 13-20-24 is going to remain on the table. And it has been recommended that 22-24 be tabled until we get some more information. 27-24 is on the first reading, and it is recommended that we table that until we get some more conversation information. And also 28-20-24.
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Wooten.
What did you say about 2024?
28, 27, and 28, 2024. It is recommended that we table that until we get some more information.
So can I ask what information you need on 28, 24?
Well, we were talking about in the finance, we just need to have some discussion around it. One of the questions was the location from Central to Perot Street.
Right.
And has anyone talked to the funeral home to make sure we're not impacting their business?
I spoke to the residents that live on the street. They already have permit parking on the street, but you don't have to, you can park there at 2 a.m. You have to move your car if you don't have a permit, and they want people not to be able to park there at 4. It's already permitted. They want the time change from
So
2 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So it's already permit parking on Oakwood?
Yes, ma'am.
The only question is, have we spoke to the funeral home? Because, you know, we have a lot of viewings between 6 and 8.
But they park there like all times of the day, but I'll speak to them. But I spoke to the residents and they want this change.
But the funeral
I'll
home.
call Miss
Okay, go
Miss
ahead.
Woody. So I'll call Miss Woody tomorrow. But I mean, the residents are concerned because when they come home at 5 o'clock, people from East Orange are parked there and they can't park.
Okay, so Councilwoman Wooten, can we table this to the next meeting and have a meeting with Director Mays and see if we really need to do that whole strip?
What, from Oakwood Avenue, from Central Avenue to Perot?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, what is that first street after Woody's?
Wilson.
Yeah, maybe just from Central to Wilson Place.
That may work. The residents are just tired of looking for parking.
I know they are. We all, and keep in mind that we also are waiting for our city attorney. Remember, we talked about some weeks ago that we weren't going to do any more permit parking until they gave us. I think Ms. Rahi's putting together a package on permit parking, so we can be consistent in what we do with permit parking. And he's still working on that. And once we meet with the business administrator, he's going to give us a resolution and a plan as how we move forward with permit parking.
Okay, but this street is already permit parking.
Right.
And on Hampton Terrace, where I live, permit parking starts at 4 p.m.
Right.
because of the same reason.
Yeah,
Right.
Council President, can I just chime in for a second? I agree 100% with Councilwoman Wooten. It's very rare that the police come out and do the permit parking enforcement that early. It's very rare. It's very
Just in case they decide to do it in the middle of we just want it to be clean, Councilman Coley. So waiting until the next meeting will not hurt. Okay?
I'll let the residents know.
Right. Thank you.
I mean, that's all we can do, Councilman Coley.
Right.
all right. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions or any resolutions or ordinances before we move?
Council President,
Yes, Councilman.
2724. You asking for that to be tabled?
Right.
Why? What's the reason?
Mr. Howard, do you remember the conversation?
I didn't think that we were tabling this one. We had discussed this in connection with the loading zones on Main Street and decided that they were two separate ordinances.
Okay. Okay, well then we can move that one. I just
All
couldn't
right. Thank you.
remember what the thing was from the finance meeting. Okay. Are we good?
Good.
Okay. Anyone else have any resolution on this they want to discuss before we move on? Okay, did our health officer get in yet?
No.
Okay,
So-
then we move the agenda.
Council President, I just want to go over it. 24-21 vote down. 13-24 remain tabled. 23-20, 22-24. You need more information, but are we moving on it tonight?
No, we're tabling that one also.
And let's see, and 28-2024 table.
Right.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Ross.
Second.
Montague.
Motion to adjourn by Council Member Ross, second by Council Member Montague, the third. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned at 7:26 PM. Okay. This is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held via audio video conferencing on Wednesday, June 5th, 2024, following the conference meeting. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I'm gonna ask Councilman Montague to lead us in the pledge tonight.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Present.
Councilmember Hilbert. Absent. Councilmember Montague the third,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
Here.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Here.
Councilmember Wooten,
Here.
Council President Eason.
Here.
President Joyce Lanier, the city clerk, Tamara Robinson, the deputy city clerk, B.A. Hartwick. Director Best, I believe, is going to be absent, and Deputy Director Mobley is sitting in her place. Chief Brown,
Present.
Al Clement, CFO,
Present.
Vincent D. Filippo, Health Officer. Is he absent? Yes?
He's not on.
Okay, absent. Paula Fiera, Tax Collector. Present. Marty Mays, Public Works Director.
Here.
And I believe Aaron Mizrazi is sitting in for Mr. Montilus.
Present.
Chris Murray, Tax Assessor.
Absent.
Okay, thank you. Director Sykes.
Present.
Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer, I believe is here.
Present.
Yes. Vincent Vidiello, Police Chief.
Here.
Marguerite Homier and Tricia Scipio also here. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 et sec, the Sunshine Law, has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 13th, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Approval of meeting minutes on May 21st, 2024, the council meeting minutes, Council Member Wooten was absent and should abstain. Is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion by Councilmember Ross.
Point
second
of
by-
order, please.
Yes, Council.
So I missed the conference meeting. I was there for the regular meeting, and it was stated that I missed the meeting. So I missed one meeting and I was there for the other meeting.
Yeah, just say,
Okay,
yeah, correction of conference meeting.
says the conference meeting minutes.
Yeah,
So let me see, the regular meeting minutes, it doesn't say your name.
Right, they're two separate votes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that was a motion to adopt by Council Member Ross, a second by Council Member Montague the third on that motion. Seeing none, roll call. Council Member Coley,
Yes.
Council Member Hilbert is absent. Council Member Montague the third,
Yes.
Council Member Ross,
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council Member Wooten,
Abstain.
and Council President Eason.
yes.
Motion passed. May 21st, 2024, regular meeting minutes. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second,
Second, Summers Johnson.
motion to adopt by Council Member Ross, second by Council Member Summers Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Just for the record, Councilmember Hilbert just entered the meeting at 7:31. Okay, reports. Community service collected $56,887.08. There are no open reports, council reports.
Okay, we're gonna start with Mr. Mobley representing Ms. Best.
Thank you, Council President. First, I wanted to thank the council for adopting the Community Energy Plan at its last meeting. As a result of that, we were successfully able to submit an application to the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities to implement the program or the plan. And we've requested a little more than $250,000. If we're successful in getting that money, it'll allow us to implement a solar program for residents. It will allow us to install a solar charging station in the public lot over by DPW that will be able to be used by the public. And we're also going to ask for some funding for a light duty truck, Ford F-150. And if we get that, that's an electric vehicle, and we'll be utilizing the charging station for that vehicle as well. The city is in the process of developing a shuttle program. We have been awarded 2 buses. They are expected here the end of the year, and we are working now to put the plan together so that we'll be able to offer the shuttle program when the buses come. Last month, we had the UEZ come in. The state office of the UEZ came in. They conducted a... Hello? Okay. As I was saying, the state UEZ came here. They conducted an audit of our military park project. We're pleased to report that the state issued the city a clean report with no findings related to the handling of our UEZ funds. And that's pretty much it. Thank you, Council President.
Can you just explain what the 2 shuttle buses, how they will be used?
The shuttle buses are going to be used to transport commuters, ideally from their home to the train station in the morning, and then in the evening, the shuttle will be there to transport them back home. On the weekends, the BA and I are talking about, what are some of the other things that we might be able to use the shuttles for on the weekends, because they will be ours to use.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Mobley?
Yes, Council President, will it be a fee attached to this shuttle for the residents?
Right now, we're
That
not
hasn't been
looking.
determined yet.
Say again? I don't
It
understand.
hasn't been determined yet.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions for Mr. Mobley?
Yeah, Council President.
Yes, Councilor Ross.
Chris, what is the amount of the grant you're asking for the solar program?
Well, we've asked for a little over $250,000 from BPU. And if we get that, then we'll use some of that money for the solar program. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but it's within the application.
Okay, thank you.
Let me, one last thing I would like to ask, and that is if there are any members of the public who are listening to this who may have an interest in serving on our green team, I'd like for them to get in contact with me.
Want to
And
give
it's
out your
also
number?
extended to addition to the council as well. I'm sorry?
Want to give out your number?
973 952-6070.
And how many members are you looking for?
If we can get 3 or 4 additional members, that would be very helpful.
3 residents.
We're going to have a lot of work today. Marty and I had a meeting with Dr. Amy Rowe from Rutgers. She's going to be assisting us with the rain gardens. We're going to be putting rain gardens in town. So she'll be helping us with that, and there's other stuff that we're going to need assistance with as well.
Anyone else have any other council people? Persons have a question for Mr. Mobley?
Yeah, can you explain in detail what exactly is a rain garden, if you don't mind?
Yeah, a rain garden it's a bed of plants and soil that filtrates the water when it falls, when it comes down. It filtrates the water, and it takes out some of the pollutants. It filters the water and takes out the pollutants so that the pollutants don't go down into our water stream, our water system.
So this would be something that will be kind of installed like around our the water system somewhere?
No. It's actually a garden. It's a garden, but the purpose of it is to catch runoff water. So it will be used to catch runoff water so that runoff storm water doesn't get into the drainage system. Now, it won't catch all of the runoff, but the idea is to catch some of the runoff so that we can mitigate some of the contamination.
Where will these rain gardens be?
Well, right now we're looking at a number of different sites. One of the sites will be where the Exit 11 building is. So we're looking at that site. We're also looking at Military Park, see if we can put some down there. And ideally, we would like to put some on Main Street, but we have to wait and see what's going to happen with the redo of Main Street.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mobley.
You're welcome.
Fire Chief Brown?
Good evening, council and everyone. I hope I was safe and well this evening. I have not too much to report on the fire side. The city is safe on the fire side at this time, but I'd like to address the JPA, the Junior Public Safety Academy. We'd like to have orientation July 1st. July 1st orientation. Camp will start July 8th. Applications are available online on the city website, on the fire department webpage for the JPSA. For those interested in their children to the camp, ages 11 to 15. So we're still accepting applications at this time and looking forward to a great camp this summer. Any questions?
Hey, Council President, Chief Brown, how are you?
I'm good, Councilman Ross. How are you?
I'm fine. Good to see you. How many slots are available now?
We have a few slots available, so they can go online and fill out the application and get it in.
Okay,
Those applications in, yes.
all right. And July 1st, you said, right?
July 1st, you'd like to have orientation a week before we start camp on July 8th.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Council President, I just want to make sure that the July 1st date doesn't, there's no conflict with the inauguration date with the firefighters participating in the inauguration ceremony.
Can you work that out with Fire Chief Brown?
Yes.
Yes, we can work that out, Joyce.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Our CFO, Mr. Clements.
Thank you, Council President Eason. Tonight, we have a walk-on that pertains to municipal poll workers being paid. It's a separate bill list. I apologize, it was emailed a quarter before 6, but we want to pay the poll workers within the 30-day time frame that they're expecting. So I ask all of the council to please consider and vote it up so that we can pay them. They work, they deserve to be paid. In addition to that, I want to make an announcement that pay by phone is now available for all Orange ratepayers or citizens for your water bill. So you can pay your water bill by phone now. It'll be on your bill when you receive it in the mail. It's also on the city's website. And then lastly, tomorrow we begin our 2024 municipal budget hearings at 7 p.m. First up, we have the court, fire, and police. And if there are any questions, I'll take them at this time, please.
Would you briefly talk about the second walk-on?
Yes, walk on 300. Oh, the other walk on we have is Power DMS for the fire department. It is an electronic file management software that the fire department uses. So that's walk on 315, 2024 WO, and then 316 is the bill list for municipal poll workers.
And you're just renewing the contract. It's not a new one. Right?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Any questions for our CFO?
Yes, Council President. For this paper, is there a fee attached to that? And if so, how much?
I'm sorry, can you repeat yourself? I could not hear you.
Is there a fee attached to this pay by phone for the water bill? And if so, what is the fee?
No, sir.
There's no fee?
No, sir.
Okay.
Ms. Paula Fiera, our tax collector.
Good evening, everyone. The city is holding an online tax sale for 2023 delinquent water sewer on July 1st. And the last day to pay is June 28th, and payment must be made by certified funds only. Tax sale notices were mailed out this week. And that's it from the tax office.
Any questions for our tax collector? Thank you. Our Director of Public Works, Marty Mays.
Good evening, everybody. I just want to mention a couple things briefly. First, I haven't been on the last couple of meetings, so I'm going back a little bit, but the first item is I wanted to let everybody know that we received the Leafing Out grant from the DEP. It's an $850,000 grant. It also comes with $12,000 in education. It'll be for restoration of trees and trees in the town. It creates an inventory, just a bunch of things. And it was only, we were 1 out of 10 municipalities in the state to receive it. I went down to Camden, they had a big press conference. It's really historic funding. It's the first time that we had this grant in the city. I also want to mention, going back, we also received over $1 million in funding for Colgate Park. As you know, right now, the basketball courts were just finished. This $1.2 million that we received will be for the additional items in the park. And today we got great news for the fire department. We received a $60,000 grant to environmentally remediate the Washington Street Station. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but the skate park or the spray park at Central Playground is currently under construction. And that should be final in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I wanted to mention that on Friday, we'll be going out for bids for Metcalf Park. That's following a similar path to Colgate with the basketball courts just being done. And then the additional funding will be for the other aspects of the park. And that's all I have right now. I'll take any questions that you may have.
Director Mays, were you able to reach out to West Orange to see what they were doing with their garbage cans? What program they
I didn't
used?
get a chance to do that. I apologize. I didn't.
Council President.
Yes, Councilman Royce.
Hey Marty, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. The 850 for trees.
Yes.
Has there a plan in place as we speak as to where and what kind of trees are going to be planted around the city?
That is not worked out yet. I mean, we had to give some general ideas in the grant. We want to focus on Main Street. We want to focus on streets that we paved. And sometimes when we pave streets, when we do the curbs and sidewalks, a lot of trees had to come out. We're going to focus on some of those areas. And we also want to focus on the Seven Oaks area as well.
Okay. And what kind of trees do you know?
It could be any kind of tree. That was one of the problems years ago. They put a lot of the wrong trees. That's why we have a lot of sidewalk issues. So anything that we choose now is we're going to try to rectify that and make sure that we choose the right trees for the location.
Okay. So second question is we got a grant for $60,000 for remediation of the Washington Street Firehouse, correct?
Correct.
What is that for? Environmental issues?
All environmental issues, yes.
And will that clean that firehouse up?
Yes. But I don't have the final say on what happens to it after that.
No, I just want to make sure that we'll clean up all the environmental issues. And that's the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then I can bug Chris for the rest to see what's gonna happen with that firehouse. Right, Chris?
Yeah, you can bug me.
Yeah, Council President.
Yes.
Yeah, Director Mays, how you doing today?
Great.
Yeah. Question for you regarding the I guess the placement or the planting of these trees. Do you have to or should you get the permission of the homeowner before you place the tree in front of their house? Or just gonna
I'm not sure how it's going to work out yet. We really in the early stages.
Well, the only reason why I asked that is because I mean, one, some homeowners may not want a tree in front of their house. And then two, it has been the posture in the city, the posture of the city and the position of the city, if and when the tree roots damage or break sidewalks, the homeowner is responsible for replacing or repairing the sidewalk. So it might be something that you might want to just have a discussion, because some folks may not want to have the trees planted in front of the house, and then maybe years later down the road have to go through this problem.
I agree with both of those statements, Councilman. I agree with you.
Thank you.
And Director Mason, to tag on to Councilman Coley said also the electric wires, because I got one in front of my house that grew up into my electric wires. If the tree ever falls, it's going to take down all of my electricity. So we also want to keep that in mind as you place them.
Well, the good thing about it, some of the funding will be for maintenance, and it also will be a survey to identify all the trees in the town. It's really a complex grant. And like I said, there's also additional $12,000 just for training, which comes out to $3,000 a year. So this is a big endeavor, and it's something that I'm very proud of.
Any other questions for Director Mays? And I just want to note that Councilwoman Hibbert has joined us. Anybody check the time? Noted.
So one more question I have regarding these trees. Is there any money in that grant for the labor to plant these trees throughout the city? Or
The way it works now is that we're gonna have a lot of tree planting ceremonies over the next 4 years. And I welcome, we invite different sororities, different volunteers. We're gonna be planting a lot of trees. So it's gonna be something, we're gonna have our own tree planting ceremonies. That's how it works.
okay, but my question was, who's gonna pay for the planting of these trees?
You don't pay. If you come to, you work. It's not a pay thing. It's not like a contractor. It's the people, it's the public. That's how you get it done.
Okay, all right, sounds
That's
good.
what we just did at Metcalf. It was all volunteers. You'd be surprised the people that believe in trees and believe in what they do and what they provide, shade, less heat, is something that's really needed in our town. And, it was some urban towns, but it was a lot of rural towns. I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I said,
Yeah, but what good are the trees if niggas out here be killing each other and shit? Come on now, man. Why we planting trees? We got niggas
Oh,
killing
please
each other.
mute. Please mute.
Look at you niggas in here learn from like your
Press the
people.
mute button.
Remove
Well, we
Jude
need the
and
trees to hang
Rouse.
the niggers
Remove
from.
Taylor and Vaughn. Remove Taylor and Vaughn.
Like,
Remove
look
Jude
about-
S. Rouse. Jude S.
Booming
Rouse.
ass nigga.
Remove Jude S. Rouse. Jude S. Rouse. We're not interested in anything you have to say, Jude S.
Oh,
Rouse.
nigger, we got
Jude
blue
S.
gum
Rouse. We're
niggers,
not
got
interested
light
in
niggers.
anything you have to say, Jude S. Rouse. Mr. N. Rouse or whatever your name is. We're not interested in anything you have to say, sir. Thank you.
why do they always get me? That's what I wonder when I'm talking.
I know. That's a shame.
Did it, did it, did it.
Council President?
Yes, Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes, I did have a question for Director Mays, but I did hear the city clerk acknowledge me around 7:31. So, okay, so just so that was done. Councilman Ross, were you done with your questions?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. So, good evening, Director Mays. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, good, good. Actually, Councilman Ross, he asked a lot of my questions. So I'm not gonna double back, but that is a phenomenal job to hear about a lot of the funding that's coming into our city. So congratulations to your department and administration. That's great. With the new trees coming in, would there be like a shade tree commission formed, or are we just gonna run this straight through DPW?
I'm not really sure about that yet. I got a lot to learn on how it's, give me a couple of classes and some time. I'll definitely come back and update everybody.
No
It's like
pressure. I
400,000
don't
for
know about
tree,
it either.
it's like 400,000 for tree maintenance, 400,000 for something else, and then 50,000. So it really entails a lot. And like I said, it came with $12,000 in training and classes over the 4-year period. So it's really a big endeavor. I'll be able to come back and update everybody.
Okay, great,
Mhm.
thank you. I was also gonna follow up on a couple of things regarding Austin Place over there by Forest Street School.
Right.
Did we have like any movement on that regarding the pole?
Yeah, we had movement in that because right now we're preparing to start our roads, not like this month, probably next month, but we walked.
Preparing to get rid of these Jewish niggas, man. We got to get rid of these Jews, nigga. These Jews be ruining.
Sir, shut up. Sir, shut up.
Who has the mute button? Why isn't everybody muted? I thought we took care of that before. That the Village Administrator, is Kim on tonight?
I'm checking now.
Because he's supposed to have everybody muted. And then we're gonna go back to having I don't know who is, Ms. Scipio, are you the,
I'm,
host? of
I'm getting them out as quickly as I possibly can, but.
Can you
yeah,
mute
that's-
everybody and then you have to mute us when we want to talk?
Let me try to do it again.
So everybody will start to have to raise their hand.
And
So
for the
if you wanna
record,
talk,
anybody
you
that
have to raise your hand.
and Councilwoman, Council President, point of order, anybody that signs in with the name Jude N. Rouse needs to be removed immediately. It is a derogatory term. It's a play on a derogatory term. It's a racist term. And it is an indication of someone that's about to Zoom bomb us. So if we keep an eye on that, let's make sure that we do not allow that person in.
Okay. Councilwoman Hilbert, you can continue.
To answer your question quickly, Councilwoman Hilbert, yes, the plans have been sent to the engineer. We're working on a set of plans for Austin Place as a street and the particular person, the handicapped person as well.
Also, in regards to the conversation we had a ways back about Lincoln Avenue and Menton Place, about making that like a 3-stop corner.
We need to discuss that. I haven't really done much on that, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, it was just it was following up with after the Frankfurt thing.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert, you done?
Yes. Could I also actually have a split question to ask? Because remember, Council President, Frankfurt Street, the original ordinance was like 1-2024. And we were having some issues with what the engineers presented to us originally. So we brought it back for tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. We're okay with it.
Yeah. Could we amend that like on record to show that and have the original petition attached to that?
I don't understand why you need to do that.
To show that there's a connection between the two, to show like where it came from, because the residents were asking. They said, well, we don't even see our petition that we did. So they just feel like this is not even the same thing when they were originally looking at it.
Well, we can have we could just have the clerk attach the petition when they put it online.
Okay, awesome. So when we discuss I'm sorry, not you, Council President, going back to Director Mays. So Director Mays, please just reach out when you're available, because I knew there were other sections in the West Ward that we were talking about that could probably use an engineer study regarding the stop signs and possible traffic lights.
Director Mays, you're muted. Can you mute his line?
I'm sorry, I thought I was done.
Oh, no, I don't even see you. Okay,
All right.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was so busy trying to unmute, I forgot. What's the question again?
No, I just said we had a list of possible areas that needed an engineer's extra
Yes.
regarding stop signs or possible places for stop
Yeah.
signs. And
I haven't. We just need to, me and you just need to talk and see where we are with it.
yeah, I feel like you've been on vacation forever.
Yeah, I was going the last 2 meetings.
But that's okay. All right, so definitely follow up soon. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'm gonna mute myself, Council President.
Okay.
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Ross.
I have one more question for Director Mays. Was on Tompkins Street today. And I think we talked about that before. Terrible, 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 terrible.
I got you. It's going to be the next street. It's already been approved by CDBG. I don't want to give you a time frame. Hopefully I can squeeze it in before the winter, but it's already been approved by the county.
Okay. One other question regarding that, I mean, with that new development that went up there, couldn't we get them to pave that road? I mean, because it's could have been damaged by them,
A lot of the damage was caused by them. We went to them, we had meetings with them. They are going to pay for a portion of of the road.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Director, Council President Knight, you saying a portion?
That's right.
How much of a portion are we like trying to like realistically hold them accountable for, being that you say that they were responsible for damaging the road?
I think it's a little bit less than 20,000. I'm just guessing. I think it's less than 20,000. Yes.
Okay, to redo the whole road or repair the road?
No. That's going to be their portion.
And what is the total estimated cost?
I don't have it in front of me. I don't want to guess, but I could get you that information.
You don't think that they should be responsible for a little more than that?
Let me get you the numbers. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't want to guess at it.
Okay, let me know. Thank you.
All right.
And I just want to add, because I see where you're going, Councilman Coley, you know, any and all of these new developments, you know, the road should be done, you know, done over by the developer, okay, before, you know, they leave, okay, because these roads get damaged and we should not have to pay for that, okay? It's the developer that is on those roads tearing them up, and they need to be replaced by the developer. Thank you. Thank you.
City Attorney, Ms. Rahi, do you have anything you want to add?
Nothing this evening, Council President.
Oh, thank you. Our tax assessor is not here tonight. Director Sites?
Yes. Yes, good evening, everyone. I'll be brief. We have, well, first let me talk about today. Today, our seniors had a workshop at the Upper Field House with the Essex County Surrogate's Office regarding wills and probates. The workshop was from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. We had the county surrogate, the county deputy surrogate, an attorney come out, and one other staff member, and give information to the seniors with regards to any information with regards to wills and probates, and to answer any questions they have related to those topics. So the workshop was scheduled for an hour. It ended up going over 2 hours. There were so many questions. And so we are going to have a part 2. And at that point, we'll put it out to the public so that more individuals can come. There are a lot of questions regarding current wills that they would want to create, how to go about it, the conversations that need to be had with family members, and then what to expect upon death of a person, and, you know, how they would like their will to be dispensed. So it was a good workshop, and we look forward to having part 2. Our Gospel Fest will be June 29th at Monte Irvin Park from 12 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. There will be local choirs singing. We have the St. Matthew's AME Choir, Bethel Baptist Choir, Cross and Crown Church Choir. We have McKeeva Scott and the Sensational Mighty Stars, and more. So we have a few people, a few groups coming out. It should be a great day. Hopefully the weather holds out. And that again is June 29th, which is a Saturday from 12 to 6 at Orange Park. Our summer camp, the Mayor's Circle of Excellence Summer Camp, we're now accepting applications. They're registering individuals ages 6 to 13. The camp is Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And it begins July 1st and it goes through August the 16th. The camp will be held at Lincoln Avenue School, same as the previous years. So if you are interested in the Mayor's Circle of Excellence Summer Camp, you may dial 973-758-9039 or 973-673-5588. Swim lessons. Our swim lessons will begin July 13th for 8 lessons. It will be $50 for all 8 lessons. Lessons will be held Saturday afternoons. And then more information about which parks will be available at a later meeting. The Jazz and Food Truck Festival will be coming up on July 20th. That festival will be held at Orange Park, Monty Urban Park, on, again, July 20th from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then there's a rain date for the following day, that's Sunday. And then lastly, I just want to talk about the Father's Day event on June 13th. For our seniors, we're celebrating Father's Day at the Upper Field House located at 234 Lincoln Avenue from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that will be a celebration cookout. So it's a cookout theme. We hope that our senior dads come out and celebrate like we did last year. We had a great time. That's it for me. Thank you.
Council President?
Hold on. Director Sykes, are we putting a flyer in each senior building so that the seniors will know, the senior fathers?
Yes, the Father's Day flyer is not out yet. As soon as it comes out, we are going to put it out.
Yeah, just make sure we get one in every senior building. And the other thing I wanted to ask you real quick, do we still have a 6 to 9 program?
We do have last year there was an issue with the Facilitron and working that out with Board of Education using the buildings, but we are working on that earlier. 6 to 9 is during the school year. So it's not during the summer months. And it usually ends in April.
So you're gonna try to have one starting in September?
Starting in the end of September, beginning of October, that's the normal time.
Okay. Yes, Councilman Ross.
Yeah, how you doing, Director Sykes? Just real quick,
well,
I
thank
looked
you.
around over the Memorial Day weekend, and I know the pool was open at Central Playground. How was that? Was that a good thing? Did a lot of people show up?
I spoke to the pool supervisor. I was not there myself, but he indicated that they did have people in the pool. I don't know the number of people. He did ask that we open an additional pool, but we'll see about that. I'm not, all of our pools are going to open on July 1st. So I'm assuming that we had a good turnout. But I could get back to you and let you know the number of people that came out. I was not there.
Yeah, okay. And was the spray park open? Is that gonna be up and running
No.
for the summer? No.
Spray Park was not open, but it should be ready, I think, Marty, June, the end of June for the summertime.
You're muted, Marty.
Well, she has.
It should be open for the summer.
Okay, all right.
Can you unmute Marty? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The spray park will be done in almost 2 to 3 weeks, maybe sooner. So it'll be open, and we plan on, I didn't mention this, but we plan on having a reopening ceremony. But it
Okay.
will be open. If you go by there today, you'll see that there's the remediation called for it to be 6 feet high, and you'll see there's a new house with all the controls that's over 6 feet high, so to prevent the flooding.
Great, great. And back to Wendy. Wendy, we're fully staffed with lifeguards for all the parks? Wendy?
Trish, can you unmute Wendy Sykes?
I think she's dropped out.
Okay.
She did. Okay.
Council President,
Yes.
I correct myself. Councilman Coley asked me a question. I answered incorrectly. There is a fee associated with pay by phone. It's the same as paying online. So it's $1.95 when you pay using your checking account, and it's 1.95% when you use a credit card for pay by phone for the water bill.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes, I actually have questions for Director Sykes. She kind of fell off, so I'll reserve my questions when you get to the business administrator.
Okay. She's gone.
She's trying to log back in.
Chief of Police. While we wait for Wendy to come in, we can do our Chief of Police.
Hello, everyone. Good to see everybody. Not much today. It's with a heavy heart. You all probably know by now that Mayor Warren and Director Warren's father passed last week, and the services will be Monday, this coming Monday, St. Matthew Church, just to let everybody know. Mr. Warren, for those of you who knew him, was just a wonderful, wonderful man. And, you know, we loved him to death. He's a good guy. Just a good guy. So we got a $7,000 award for clicking a ticket, which has run its course. So during that time, we had 76 motor vehicle stops and we issued 85 summonses. So it was pretty much an success. We had a walkout for Officer Cherry a few days ago. We're gonna miss him too. He was a great officer. He was into the community. He loved you know, the elderly and young people, and a guy with his knowledge is gonna be hard to replace. Other than that, questions?
Yeah, Police Chief, in the future, we had to apologize to Officer Cherry because none of us knew about the walkout. Could you just make sure you send us a special invitation?
Yes, the captain did send it out, but she sent it out late.
So, but I'm asking every department to have a broadcast school for council, so you could just send us a message that said, our business administrator has one set up. You might want to find out what it is, so you guys can just use that same one that goes to all council meeting members. By the way, this is what's happening. If you would like to attend, if you don't mind, because the communication in this city, we got to do better. We got to do better. Because we apologizing to him because we didn't make it, but we knew nothing about it. So we just want to make sure everybody's inclusive of everything that happens and that we don't slight anyone. All right.
I will remember.
Thank you.
And I will take care of it and make sure that issue is corrected.
Right. So that's for anything that's going on. Just send us all a broadcast message. That's fine. That'll help. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for our police director, police chief? Thank you, police chief.
Thank you.
Did Director Sykes get back on yet? Councilwoman Hibbert, you want to reach out to her tomorrow so she can answer all your questions?
No, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Please move the agenda.
Sorry. Communication positions, none. Citizen comments. Please be advised. Members of the public wishing to address the council on any subject shall be permitted to do so this portion of the meeting by indicating a raised hand and activating their cameras at this time. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker will have 1 5-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to the beginning of his or her remarks. Screen sharing or visual aids are not permitted. Members of the public are reminded to be courteous, mindful of others' individual rights when speaking. Each person has the right to speak on any subject and is responsible for any abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by any member of the public and reserve the right to remove any person engaging in obscene or disrespectful conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate which may or may not be during this meeting.
Okay, we're gonna start off with our Councilman Foley.
No, that's Aisha Samuel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Aisha Samuel. Miss Samuel.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Aisha Samuel. I'm sorry, let me get out of line. 401 Highland Terrace. The pool still does not have a complete schedule about swimming lessons, and I had mentioned that back in March that it should have been done by now because it's June. And she just stated that they will have it, but they don't know which pool it's at, which tells me that it's still not confirmed. Number two, when will Highland Terrace be resurfaced? Last time, Mays wasn't on the call, so I didn't get that answered. So, and another thing, that tree stuff is still in my backyard. My neighbors still have not come to clean it up, Mays, so I don't know what's going on with that. And what is going on with the hospital site? We haven't heard anything about that, the developers or anything, or any type of community involvement or community engagement about what's going on with that. And parking is still an issue, and they just opened up the Highland and people are still parking in my driveway. Somebody was told last week. 2 other people almost got towed, like the tow truck was there, but they came out and got their cars like right in the mid-nick of almost being towed. So it's still happening. And you guys still have not gotten back to me about permit parking because it's still an issue on my driveway. And I know you mentioned that earlier that you were waiting to hear from Ms. Rahi, but this has been going on for like 6 years, me and my house. But I know that you just talked about that back in December or January about getting information from him about parking. And I'm like, seriously, I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of going through this. And those people are just completely just like, they're stuck on stupid because they continue to do the same thing, expecting a different result. They continue to park there and not expect to get towed. And of course they get towed. And I'm the person who is the bitch in the blue house because I won't let them block my driveway. And I think that's, the trees. Can y'all please plant female trees? No more male trees. Male trees create pollen. Female trees create fruit. Let's feed people and let's stop planting male trees. Most tree species comes in male and female. Many of them, especially the fruit trees. Stop planting male trees. That's all I have to say. So Mays, can you please answer the question about my neighbors cleaning up the tree out of my backyard? And also when Highland Terrace will be redone and whether or not it will also have a speed table, because it really does need a speed table.
Point of order, Council President, point of order, could we have the public address people with Mr. or Director? Or, I mean, you referring to people by their last name, it's completely unprofessional and uncalled for.
Director Mays, you answered the question.
Yes, I can answer the question about the resurfacing. It is included in one of the packages that we sent to DOT. We're waiting for approval now. It's a list of on a list with about 15 streets. The stuff in her backyard, that's a code enforcement matter. I can follow up on it, but I'm not handling that. And I think that was the only things for me.
Is Mr. Wingfield on tonight? Director Mays?
I don't think so.
I know because he's normally here, but I don't see him either. Okay. Ms. Howell? Ms. Howell, can we unmute Ms. Howell, please?
I've asked her to unmute. She's having, oh, there she is.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. I get back 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Good evening, everyone. My name is Valora Howell for 83 Mountain View Avenue. I have some questions in regards to Director Marty Mays. Once again, my question, I almost fell walking up my street. The sidewalks are just completely unwalkable. My neighbor, Carolyn King, her husband is also handicapped. I saw him maybe a week ago with a cane, and it's just impossible to walk on the sidewalks, either side, especially if you're going to vote. Because I live in Mountain View Avenue, and the voting poll is the Board of Education. So I know last year you promised to have our sidewalks unscheduled. And I sent you an email in regards to the safety that our sidewalks are not handicapped. They don't adhere to the ordinance. And so I'm just curious if you have us on your agenda, and what does it look like? Marty, Director Mays.
Yes, you are. If your street has been submitted, that you're on the same list with Asia Samuels. We just waiting to hear. Soon as we hear, we're gonna take action.
Oh my goodness, that's great news. Well, I was expecting that. Well, thank you so much.
We've been waiting now for the last 30 days to hear. Hopefully it'll come soon. I hope it comes soon enough so we could take care of it in the fall and you don't have to wait until next spring, but that's being hopeful. We're just waiting to get approval.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Director Mays. And I have one other question directed to, I guess, maybe the the taxpayer or the tax assessor or who's ever in charge of. I was really surprised to see 400 names on the tax sale for water. And I had a chance to review some of the records. Someone's bill was as low as $40. And do we have a better way to communicate with the public instead of putting them in a tax sale? And it just seems so ominous and so threatening someone talked about mental health. Well, this is not very healthy for people to see their names on maybe there's some people don't even know their names on the list. So just wondered, is there a better way to notify people? And plus the website doesn't work. A lot of people are complaining that they can't pay their bill. So, people, at least I can't pay my bill. I have to come in person. And before when it was managed by the other water company, I would pay my bill all the time, very easily, without any problems. So I'm just curious if there's a better way to notify people. Anyone from the tax department can answer that question?
It's Minister Administrator Hartwick, you want to address that? I don't know.
Sure, the posting or the publication is the last step. Everybody gets a quarterly bill. Everybody gets a delinquency notice. In fact, they get 2 delinquency notices before they're published for the sale. So there's a substantial amount of communication with regard to bills and delinquencies.
Okay, I usually pay it on time, and I contact the water department to let them know what's happening. But I just thought when I saw that the tax sale, I was like, wow, that's got to be it's just very threatening. That's all. But thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Howell. Ms. Bryant? You have to unmute. . Ms. Bryant, you still, okay, there you go.
Good night, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for this time, Council President Tensi and everyone. I just wanted a quick answer to
Please
that
state
young.
your name and address for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Debbie Bryant. I'm at 456 Orange Road, City of Orange. And I just wanted to address that young lady. I wanted to let her know that a lot of people, because the mortgage companies pay for the taxes, they're under the assumption that the water is included, which is not. So when they do get a bill, they kind of ignore it because they feel that the mortgage payment will include that, and they're not aware of that water bill specifically. I was working on a project with some of the citizens here at Orange, and the tax collector, Ms. Paula, she was very gracious to assist me. I want to thank her for that. And that's one of the reasons why I'm on this call. I'm on here for a second time, and I wanted to advertise my services. I do want to have a chance to speak to the Fire Chief, Derek Brown, and Miss Wendy Sykes. I'll look up their information and try to reach out to them. I'm a public adjuster. I also notarize mortgages, all type of notaries, and I'm a realtor. So I took upon a project for myself, helping citizens be a little bit more knowledgeable on why they're getting water bills. And as a public adjuster, what I was doing was offering my services on any constructional damage to their properties and actually getting them paid to help them pay for those water bills. So it may seem threatening, but because of the lack of knowledge that they have, they ignore that water bill. So what I was doing is trying to educate people about that. And that is the main reason why I'm on here tonight. I just want to advertise my services as a public adjuster. And there are specific people like Fire Chief Derek Brown. I'll be reaching out to you. I want to help people that have suffered in fires and try to get them as much money as they can, because insurance companies do not pay the full amount. And you need someone like me to step in and get them as much as they can for their tragedy. I think that's about it. If anyone has a question for me, I'm here, but I'll be reaching out to the appropriate people so I could extend my services to them. Again, thank you, Council President, for letting me speak tonight. And that's it.
Did you have a number you wanted to share with the public?
Oh, yes, please, yes. My number is 862-930-3786. You could also find me on the internet, Debbie A. Bryant. I'm on Yelp and LinkedIn.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Apasola? We can't hear you. We still can't hear you. You're not muted, but we can't hear you. Well, we're gonna come back to you.
There she is, Council President.
Okay, Ms. Apasola? We still can't hear her. There's something wrong with her. I don't know her. We can't hear you. Okay, this is what is it, Strikeover, Ivan?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everyone.
You want to give us your name and address for the record?
Sure. My
May
name
the
is
camera on?
my name is Janisa Jones Vance. 214 Duane Street.
Do you have access to a camera? Can you turn your camera on?
I was trying to turn it on, but it for some reason is not responding. Let me see.
Can we come back to you while you figure it out?
Okay. Okay.
Ms. Tennant?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Good. Rachel Tennant, 461 Waverly Place. A few things. The last meeting I asked about the Highland train station, and I was told that we don't own it, that we lease it. Can someone tell me how much we're paying for that lease? That's one thing. And going back to what Valora Howell was speaking about in terms of the water bill. Do you find that there's a rise in non-payment since you transitioned from Veolia to the city water system or the city billing? Because I've stated before, you know, when you get your phone bill, you can look at it and you know it's your phone bill. Veolia, the same thing. You can look at it and you could tell. You don't even have to open it. You just know what it is. Unfortunately, now, since you transitioned, the water bill looks like the tax bill. Because I fell victim to that. I saw the bill, I saw the mail. I said, oh, that's my tax bill. I already know my taxes went up, so I didn't open it. When I did eventually open it, I realized it was not my tax, it was my water. So like I asked before, is there any way someone could put a stamp on the envelope that says water bill or something to distinguish between the actual tax bill and that letter being a water bill? Lincoln, I believe it's either Hillside or Mountain View. Someone turned the sign, the street sign. So right now is actually Hillside or Mountain View is being identified as Lincoln Avenue. Someone, I don't know, maybe some kids or something, someone moved the sign. So if someone could take a look at that, it's either Mountain View or Hillside. What else did I have? Okay, special thanks to Chief Vidiello, some of his staff. Unfortunately, I had to go to the police station on Monday, and I had the opportunity to speak with officer. I'm not sure their ranking, I'm sorry. Parham, Jones, and Anderson. I don't know, did you hear me, Chief Vidiello?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that's Parham, Jones, and Anderson.
Gotcha.
They were all lovely. What's the other thing I had? Oh, quality of life issues, you know, loud music. We suffered that over here on Waverly Place. To this day, we don't even know where that music was coming from. I believe it might be somewhere on Lincoln. I mean, the full spread, DJ on the mic and everything, very loud music. Windows closed, you could hear it, Saturday and Sundays. I don't know who shut it down, but whoever shut it down, it's been shut down for a while. Thank you very much. And I don't know why people think that they should play loud music. I know everyone, you know, yes, it's your home, but still, be reasonable. You know, I lived in Brooklyn. We had a lot of block parties, you know. They would let everyone know, look, on such and such a day, we're having a block party. And everyone was okay with it. But, you know, just to randomly or to make it a constant, every weekend you want to blast your music, you know, we can't always think about ourselves, you know. There are other people that live in a community. And just doubling back with the water bill, if they could put a stamp on it. And how much is the lease for the Highland train station? Thank you very much.
Village Administrator Hartwick, can you answer that, or you wanna respond in writing?
Marty may know the number on the lease.
The number is 0.
That's what I thought.
No money. No,
Oh.
Right.
it's
That's like-
0.
Oh, 0 is good. I like 0. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Eason,
Yes.
may I address Mrs. Tennant, please?
Hold on 1 second. And Village Administrator, can you let Ms. Fiera know she wants to stay up on the water bill?
Well, we're looking at that.
Council President,
We'll see what happens.
Council President.
Yes, Council,
w-
let's
w- Yeah, we've changed our appearance of the water bills. Now they come with a blue window envelope, so they don't look like our tax bills. So, Ms. Tennant, next water bill that you get, it should look different and stand out. And water bills come quarterly. Your tax bills only come twice a year, just to clarify the difference.
Okay,
All right.
thanks for that.
Thank you. All right, Police Chief.
Ms. Tennant, thank you for that information. I'll make sure that the officers are aware of your kind words. Thank you.
Yes, I don't know their first names. I just got the last name, so.
Yeah, I know, I'm all familiar with them. They're all good officers, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Mhm.
All right, Mr. Ebo. We can't hear you. You're muted. Can you unmute your phone?
Yes, I just did. I was trying to unmute, but it told me that it has to be done through the. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ebo Nkrumah, and I'm at 711 South Center Street in Orange, New Jersey. At the last council meeting, I did not get a chance to respond to Mr. Mani Sutega's comment regarding the insinuation of his civil rights being violated. The irony of the situation is that over the past few years, Mr. Ortega has been calling the Orange Police Department as well as coming to the council meeting to tell lies about me and some other neighbors. There were so many occasions that police showed up to my house and they were surprised that it's only a few guys hanging out in my backyard on a Friday evening after a hard week. But the police, they had an impression based on the report that a large and noisy party was going on. This is what I call violation of others' civil rights. This is what Karens do across the country, lying to the police about black men just to get the police to show up, hence indirectly using the police to harass people of color. I am currently looking into legal avenues for Mr. Ortega to answer to all the lies and these harassment. He has made assertions to other members of the immediate neighborhood, which they found objectionable and racist. You have called our music ghetto just because it's African, Caribbean, or R&B. His assertion of homophobia in our neighborhood is pure fabrication. Everyone gets along great with every other gay couple in this neighborhood. The only thing I care about in life is the character of a person. People are either good or bad, either kind or cruel, and either empathetic or apathetic. There are several gay couples in the immediate neighborhood. How come he is the only one who feels this way? It is basically because of your attitude and nothing to do with your sexual orientation. For far too long, we have allowed Ms. Ortega to shape the narrative, and that is going to change. I always had excuses of not being able to attend the council meetings, but going forward, I'll make a time and effort to attend the meetings so that I can counter any lies or fabrications being told. And Ms. Ortega's sense of entitlement is borderline narcissistic. He thinks he's more important than anyone else in the neighborhood. You caught police on kids swimming and having fun in a pool during the daylight hours, for God's sake. My view is, this is America. You have the freedom to choose where you live. If you hate to hear outside noises or black music so much, since you call it ghetto, whatever that means, you have the right to purchase a ranch where your immediate neighbor will be at least a mile away. In that case, you will not have to hear anything from your neighbor. But to continually lie about your neighbors to get your way is repulsive and illegal. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Allaire? Can you unmute?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Hi, good evening. My name is Aleli St. Hilaire. I'm at 472 Alden Street, here in Orange. I do want to make a couple comments. One being, I want to thank the person responsible for hosting the mental health first aid on Monday in the town. Very interesting. I was hoping to see more of the community rather than members of the mental health community to get informed. But I guess, you know, it's a starting point. So I do appreciate that, bringing that together. The second point I want to make, I'm always advocating for mental health. And this past weekend, we had an incident, my family and I, where my little puppy, he's like, what, 10 pounds? He was attacked by two pit bulls. I do appreciate the cops and the EMS or EMT reporting immediately. They did assess the situation. However, thank God no one was hurt except for my dog. But I was disappointed on the fact that no police officers, including the EMT, came to any of the 4 children that were involved, including my niece, that she was the one holding the dog. Did not ask them how they were, other than if they had any physical injuries. Now, a small dog being attacked by 2 pit bulls, and 4 children being witness to that, was a very traumatic event. And I was disappointed again. And that only tells me that not everyone is trained to ask, unless it's a physical injury. Nobody asks, and we tend to ignore that. And I think that we need to move forward. And like I said in the previous comments, we need to have these conversations, because again, the stigma is that unless it's a physical injury, mental health does not exist. And yet the illnesses that we have as adults say otherwise, because it's very connected. Okay. And the other thing I do want to say, I want to follow up on a few things, because in April I did send Director, I think Marty Mays, about the park on Alden Street and High Street, the corner park there. I did send him pictures per his request, and I have not received a response. The holes are still there, and there's a big hole actually in the park where children are getting hurt. So if children are getting hurt to the point where they need to, you know, be tended, again, who is responsible for that? And also, what about the I think it's the Ropes Park that was inaugurated, but I don't think the sprinklers are working. It is June, so we don't have any, the children aren't able to, you know, use the sprinklers. But again, I just hope that we continue these conversations about mental health, because it's important to everyone and for everyone's well-being. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Mays, I was going to ask this question later, but when is the sprinklers going to be ready in Ropes? I rode by there the other day and it wasn't ready. You have any idea?
The sprinklers were supposed to be delivered at the end of last week. I don't know exactly what's happening. I will check into that. We do expect them there shortly. And Ms. Hilaire, can you resend what you sent me, please?
Could you follow up with tomorrow and find out, let me know when they're going to be there? And also,
Yes.
we have soccer in that park, so have they reported that they're having problems with any holes, or is it checked every day at College Park?
I was just over there. If she's talking about the turf, there were some repairs. I'm not exactly sure. I don't recall seeing the pictures. I apologize. You may have sent it to me. If you could resend it again.
Ms. Hilaire, can you resend him the pictures, please?
You need my number?
I
No.
think she said, you're still muted.
I sent the text message, the pictures via text message and then via email on April 17th.
I don't know. Yeah,
you
please
resend them?
resend it.
Can you
Sure.
resend them? All right,
Sure.
thank you. And if you don't respond, give me a call.
Okay.
I think we had changed numbers the other day, right?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. Mr. Abasola, you ready?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Good evening. My name is Abisola Oshuntolu, and I live on 223 I Street in the city of Orange. This is about my third time of attending this meetings, and I must say that I don't think any of my requests have been attended to yet. I'm hoping that at least one will be, visited, at least, something can be done. So today I have like 5, requests, that I would like to make. One is still the last one I made about the mechanic, the workshop on I Street. The guy still has like 1 million cars on the street every day, even when it's time to sweep that side of the road. I've lived in Orange for the past almost 18 years. I've gotten tickets upon tickets for just parking there for just but mistakenly parking on that street. And I've gotten tickets. I wonder how many tickets this man will be getting every time, because he's there with cars on the street on that same side of the street. And I don't think there's any consequences for him, because if not, he wouldn't be parking there. That's one. And I also said at the last meeting that the sign on my side of the road on I Street, it says no parking from 8 a.m. Meanwhile, further down the road that has this man and the park and College Park says 9 a.m. My husband had parked on that side of the road just for 8:01 the other day, and we got a ticket. Something has to be done. It has to be uniform. Is it no parking at 9 a.m. or is it no parking at 8 a.m.? Something has to be done about that. And that's number one. Number two, number one was the mechanic. Number two is the parking sign. Number three is I really want to know the relationship between the city hall and the public library. Our students, our children need the children's library. It is in a state of, I can't describe what it looks like, the Orange Public Library. I really want to know the relationship, because I've attended some of their meetings and there's no headway. There's no solution to it. So I want to know how the city hall can, the city can help with the children's library. Number three, the preschool today, did I say number three? Number four, rather. The preschool today used the College Park. And before today, they had made arrangements, they got permission and all of that. And when we got there this morning, the porta potty was a mess. It was at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. The children couldn't use the porta potty today at all because it was very dirty. So I feel, we pay taxes and all of that. It should be up to date every morning. It should be somebody's job to fix that. And then number 5, the last one, is the constant music, just like the other neighbor had said the other time. Constant music from a particular house on I Street. The address is 227 I Street. I've called the police about 4 times. Every time the police comes, as soon as they leave, it starts again. Something has to be done permanently to ensure that there is peace and harmony for those who pay taxes in the city of Orange. We want to go to work on Monday, Sunday. It starts from Friday until Sunday, keeps blasting the music like no man's business, 227 High Street. The last time I called the police, they said they were going to give him a summon or something like that. Something has to be done. I don't think there are consequences, and that's why that guy keeps doing. He just moved in maybe last year or something, but since then it's been chaos on High Street, at least by where I live, and I believe something has to be done to ensure that we have peace and harmony on the street. So those were my wonderings, and hopefully they can be addressed. Thank you.
Miss Evans, so you're between Alden and Washington?
Oh no, between Park and Alden.
Between Park and across the street from the bodega?
No, further down to Park Avenue, very close to the preschool. Yeah, to.
Oh yeah, because I was wondering because I'm at the other end and I haven't heard the music. Otherwise, I would hear it if you were at the other end.
Yeah,
I was promoting College Park to one of the other schools. I'm glad to hear that you guys used it today.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it wasn't clean, and I apologize for that because everybody said we don't want to go down to that area of town. We don't want to use College Park. I always was promoting ropes. But as me and the business administrator, we are really scratching our heads as to what to do about the car repair. We've been working on that all week. We haven't come up with a solution, but your concerns have not fallen on deaf ears. I was concerned the minute I saw it open. Unfortunately, I didn't know it was coming there until it opened, and we have all of these cars. And I talked to the guy, Dale. In fact, he called me today because he's finally gotten a message and he's trying to find a location where he can move those cars. And we're trying to help him figure that out. But we don't know if we're going to come up with a solution. But it is zone commercial. It was a car repair there before. Unfortunately, it was for foreign cars, and we didn't have a lot of the cars that he has. And we are working on it. We just haven't come up with a solution. Once we do, we will make sure we are addressing your concerns, but we have to do what is legal and what is right. And we can't violate his rights. So just be patient with us. We're working on that. And Marty, you are going to take care of the part. I think you really need to replace the porta potty in there at College Park. Is that possible? Director Mays?
Yes, Councilwoman, yes to that question.
Can you replace the porta potty? I think you need two, one at each end. Can you replace them?
Yes.
I don't think at this stage in the game, because as me and the business administrator has been, and now director of community service, Ms. Sykes, has been battling all with the last couple months about how often that park is used. Somebody is in there almost every day, all day long. So I don't know how we're going to keep those porta potties clean unless we clean them twice a day, because it's just a busy park, and we're trying to curtail some of that activity and remove some of those soccer matches and things that's out there every single day. So you probably need to just replace the porta potties, because I don't think those you can clean to the satisfaction of anybody. When we built that park, we didn't know it was going to have that much activity, because it's supposed to be a community park, and it hasn't turned out that way. I think we addressed her concerns. Minister what you want to talk about the library? Or refer that to somebody at the library on her concerns and figure out how we're gonna get the children's part up and running again?
I think that's a longer conversation that we should have offline. If I'd like to give my phone number, and you can call me. We can make an appointment and go over exactly what the relationship is, and I can bring in someone who's responsible from the library. That would be 973-280-2587.
And 227 High Street Police Director, can you refer that tomorrow so we can keep an eye on that and the music over the weekend?
You're talking about the noise complaint
Yes,
from that area? Yes.
give
We will
that to
look-
patrol so they can patrol that.
We will look into it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ortega? You have to unmute.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
I'm trying to start the video. Please give me a second. Good evening, Council President.
We got you.
Okay, I wanted to come on to clarify, because it is a public setting. There is video documentation yelling hate speech. That's documented. Rachel Tennant spoke to quality of life. She's not being called a Karen because I'm Puerto Rican, I'm a Karen. Ms. Abasolo literally just spoke to the same issue we're having here. She's not being called a Karen. I'm being called a Karen. So just to clarify that. Also, there was a question as to why there were quiet zone signs put up when they did. That was Mayor Warren's suggestion after he received some type of letter.
I'm so sorry, sir. Can you please list your name and address? I'm so sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Manuel Ortega, 152 Hayward Avenue. Mayor Warren, during the Seven Oaks meet and greet, made the announcement that this would be handled as a quiet zone because of the documentation. The powers that be put up the sign, the council did not pass the signage. We did revise the city ordinances for the benefit of the entirety of Orange, not for me, for the entirety of Orange. So just to clarify as to why it is that the zonage signage was put up, they followed documentation and repeatedly responding to situations past the times on the ordinance. I just wanted to make that clear. We moved into a situation which is unfortunate that we had no idea was happening. Our block captain for the neighborhood association had tried to do her due diligence as well as the elder on the block to remediate the situation prior to us moving in. I was told they were a problem, which is why they're not invited to these events. So if seeking quality of life for your family, which is guaranteed by law in the state of New Jersey and in Essex County and in Orange, makes you a Karen, here we are. So several people have spoken to the same situations across Orange. So that is on the record. That's all I wanted to say, just to clarify as to why it is those signs were put up. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Ms. Ivan, thank you. You have your video on now. You want to talk now? You have to unmute. We still can't hear you.
How about now?
All right, you're good.
Awesome. Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Janisa Jones Vance, 214 Duane Street. Before I ask my question, I wanted to know if I could also join in regarding the meeting for the library. Mr. Hardwick, he gave his cell number to Ms. Abisola. So I was hoping I could be a part of that, but we could talk more offline, I guess. My question is regarding the signs. The signs on Park Avenue, in front of Park Avenue School, the crosswalk, they're missing signs. I don't see a pedestrian sign any longer, and I don't see the speed limit sign. So I just wanted to know who was in charge of that, and possibly an estimated time as to how we can get those signs posted. We only have 15 school days left, and the children will be out of school regarding Orange Public Schools for the summer. And I just would like for those crosswalks to be safe for them to use. That's it.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Mays, can you, Director Mays? Can you check into the signs in front of Park Avenue School tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I forgot when Ms. Abasola was on, she talked about signs, and you were supposed to go out and do the High Street. Were you able to get out there and check out those signs?
No, but now that I heard her explain what it is, I'll check it tomorrow.
Ms. Director Mays, I explained that last week, remember?
Yeah, we talked about it, but I'm clear now from her.
Oh, I didn't make myself clear enough, huh? Thanks a lot. All right. All righty. Thank you. Mr. Eagle?
Good evening. My name is Brent Engel. I live at 174 Haywood Avenue. Thank you, Council President and members of the City Council. Appreciate you taking my time. I live at 174 Haywood Avenue. Past 16 years, there has been a quality of life issue that very much Rachel Tennant talked about, some other people talked about. Unfortunately, it has gotten to the point where people are calling people derogatory names only based on their sexual gender, which is completely uncalled for. Just as though the people cutting in on these meetings and speaking the vulgarity that they do, I was born in this city, okay? My birth certificate is in the health department, okay? I really, really hate, the fact that there are people coming in here and they decide that what they do, wherever they have come from, decide that it's okay to do here, when this neighborhood, yes, there is music played, but it's not to the point where it's like 70 decibels from 5 houses away. On my phone, my cell phone, my cheap little Samsung, I have a decibel reader. And we are getting assaulted by this. Finally, somebody finally got the idea, because they come on last week or last meeting, and they found out that 10 o'clock was a cutoff, but they don't quite have the understanding that there are decibel levels that must be maintained at their property lines. And I hope that the decibel readers will soon be obtained by the police. And we can only hope that with this, people should actually, I don't know how we can, if there needs to be a notification sent out telling people where to find online a copy of the city ordinance, specifically chapter 138 about noise levels. And, the fact that some residents or residential buildings are actually listed or owned by a corporation. Do we need to go ahead and go after them by the state law of a corporation? It's very frustrating. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Mr. Eagle, I have a question for you. Now, the police department held a meeting last week about that community. Were you in attendance?
Ma'am,
Are there life issues there?
Ma'am, I don't, there were meetings set up, and we've never received an invite from any of this. We don't, you know,
Everybody in that community was invited to that meeting at the police department. So I guess
I never received anything. Nobody
guess-
received anything. So we don't know who was invited.
So I guess the time is coming. I'll leave that to our police chief. Maybe he needs to set up another meeting and go to door with the flyer, because somehow or another, you guys have to come to some common ground. Because as you really know, everybody has rights in this city, and people buy houses for reasons so they can enjoy their family and friends. And I'm hoping at some point we can come to some common ground. And if there's people that's harassing you guys with name calling, then that's a police matter. Give the name of the person, file a complaint so they can rectify that.
We did.
All right. Carmen Engel.
Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Carmen Engel, 174 Haywood Avenue. I'd first like to thank Chief Hello for moving the needle on a matter that seems like myself, our household at 174, as well as other residents in Orange, are bringing, to the meeting to discuss.
Ms. Engel, I'm sorry, but you want to start over because we can't barely understand what you're saying and we missed some of your conversation.
All right, I'm sorry. Is this a little bit better, ma'am? Is this a little bit better?
And now we can't see you.
Now you can't see me. Hold on a second. I lost my video. I'm not sure where. Well, my video is enabled. I'm not sure why. Locked in. Hold on. Moving around, trying to get you a signal, ma'am.
We can see you.
You can see me now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. She's there. Her face is there. She's lowered her hand. Raise your hand.
You can see me?
No, raise your hand on the computer. On your
on the computer. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, ma'am. Raise hand one more time. Can you see me now?
We can see you now.
Wonderful. All right. Carmen Engel, 174 Haywood Avenue. I wanted to thank Chief Vitello for attending the meeting last time and this evening, because he obviously, whatever conversations he's had with our police force, is actually moved the needle on an issue that more than the residents of 174, even on Haywood Avenue, have brought to our council meeting about noise. Thank you very, very much. It's greatly appreciated. There have been a couple of parties and many have gathered, and everything and everyone dispersed widely enough by 10 p.m. as dictated by the ordinance. However, as my husband Brenningle and some of the other residents mentioned, during the daytime, there is indeed a noise ordinance that is documented, approved, and should be in effect, but is not being observed nor enforced. That's still a concern. I hope that sometime in the near future we can come to an understanding so that the daytime noise ordinance is adhered to. And the last thing I wanted to ask Mr. Mays, I've reported twice a leak in the street. It appeared, I thought it was water. It used to have a rainbow effect, and I assumed it was oil. 3 hard rains and come back and it spread, and on the yellow foam, I was told that it would be resolved this week. I've seen some utility trucks around, but I don't understand. We've been given no information or status as to what it is that's seeping out of the ground in the street at the end of the driveway, my neighbor's driveway, 182. Can someone possibly give me a status on that? I've seen part of South Center and Haywood cut blocked off between Tremont and Sterling. I've seen Haywood Avenue approaching Berkeley, part of that blocked off. Also, multiple utility trucks. Does anyone have any information they can provide as to what exactly might be the matter? Mr. Mays?
Yes, I have to look into that. I'm not aware of it.
I contacted the water department myself,
Right.
and I was told by the gentleman, I want to say his name was Pantala, I'm not quite positive, but he said he spoke with the supervisor. I don't know if it was you or someone else at the Orange Emergency Works, and he called me back and he said he was going to come by. He said I was told by my supervisor it's on the schedule this week, and there was no need to come by. I just want to know what the status is, because it used to be like a rainbow oil looking in the whatever that liquid is, and now there's a yellow foam coming out the street.
Okay, I'll look into it. Again, I'm not aware of it. I can find out the answer though. You want to take my number or whatever
Hold
you
on
feel
just
is.
a moment. Let me. Fortunately, I'm still at work, and let me get a digital record for you. Go right ahead, sir, please.
It's 973-885-1921.
Hold on just a moment. Hold on just a moment. I'm
I'm
one-handed,
sorry.
and my shorthand is not great, sir. Hold on just a moment. One more time.
973
Yes, sir.
885
885
1921. Can you just text me? That's easier. Just text me and say, just a couple sentences, and then that'll help me.
I will do. I will send you the same exact thing I've been sending to my South Ward Council person, Jamie Summers Johnson.
Okay.
All right, then. I'll send you the photos as well.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Veronica Scott.
Good evening. I just a few comments. One regarding Miss Alaire in
Name and
terms of,
address, please.
I'm sorry, Veronica Scott, 548 Argyle Avenue.
Thank you.
So just a few comments regarding Miss Alaire and mental health. I believe the topic is so very important because mental health there's a direct correlation between mental health and quality of life. So if there could be more information to the community in terms of future programs or workshops regarding mental health and how to handle some certain circumstances, I think that is important. I think even with noise, there's a potential issue with one's quality of life, depending upon one's health, whether it be neurological or mental. So I think that's something to definitely be addressed. I want to thank Director Marty Mays regarding the speed bump that was placed on Argyle Avenue today. I appreciate it. I know that I've asked you countless times about it and followed up with you about it. And you've been gracious and given me responses. So I, again, just want to say thank you. Regarding Director Sykes and the information for the seniors regarding the trust, wills, and things of that nature, I am glad that that is being expanded to the public. I myself have had a relative, my great nephew, pass away intestate, which means without a will. And I was the executor of his estate. And I had some significant challenges with trying to figure out what to do. So that information is important, not just for seniors, but for the community at large, young or old. It is so very important. And I'm very happy that this program is being expanded to the public. So please, when you are ready to announce the date, it would be really great if they could do a robocall or some sort of widespread communication with respect to that, because I will be in attendance. Chief Vidiello, I just wanted to say that Officer Cherry will be missed tremendously, specifically in the South Ward. He was a great human. He was a collaborator, especially for us. We could always call him. He would always respond. And he's definitely going to be missed. Also, my condolences regarding the mayor's father. I know what it's like to lose a parent. We're all human. And I think that is it for me.
You're on mute.
Thank you. Mr. Hathaway?
Good evening, Council President. Thank you for your opportunity to speak tonight. I would like to release this statement. My name is William Hathaway, Vice President of the Orange Democratic Committee, and longtime Democratic Committee person for
Shirley, can you
West
please
3.
say your name,
Served on the
state your
committee.
name and address?
Give us your name and address.
My name is William Hathaway, 232 Lincoln Avenue. So my statement reads, regarding the Democratic Committee election, we've had the primary, sheriff, and Senate race. The voter turnout in the city of Orange was horrible, especially in my ward, with 76 voters came to my polling district. Also, it's sad when residents who have the opportunity to vote don't do it, but complain about issues in the city of Orange. That's their prerogative. As serving as the Democratic Committee person in the city of Orange for over 22 years in my district, I was disenfranchised yesterday as voters in my district did not vote. We worked very hard, all of our 34 committee district leaders, advocating voter energy in our city for our young people, also, and for our older adults. I'd like to commend all winners of the Democratic Committee election and my fellow colleagues that serve currently that bring pride in our community and that serves on the Democratic Committee. My name is William Hathaway. I approve this message. And also, we like to engage the voters of our city, our young people. We need some unity in our city regarding the last election in the mayor's race, where it was terrible results. Over 2,000 people voted in the last mayor's election. God forbid, our vote is our voice for our wards, east, west, north, south. So residents of Orange, get geared up because we have another, I guess, a special election for the congressional seat. And also, let's get ready for November. We need hands on deck. Our voice is our vote. Thank you very much, Council President. And I'd like to thank my colleague that ran for Democratic Committee, Ms. Stacy Martin, for her dedication, her service to the city, and also my fellow Democratic Committee leaders that serve on the Democratic Committee, also our chairperson, Antoinette Hall. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Anthony Burke? We can't hear you. Have to unmute yourself.
I'm doing that. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening, City Council members and residents of the Township of Orange. I just had two quick comments.
Give us your name and address. Name and address.
Certainly. Anthony Burke, 477 Hillside Avenue. My first thing is I just want to know, do we have a battery recycle program in our township? And the other one was, I just wanted to bring to attention, I'm not sure if anyone is currently aware of this, but on Hillside Avenue, on the east side of Hillside Avenue, there's a beginning of a sinkhole. Are we aware of this?
Director May?
No, I am not aware of that. I will look into it in the morning. Say it again, what'd you say, where, the location again? I know Hillside, but where?
It's on the east side of Hillside Avenue. So
Okay.
if you coming from Scotland Road and you go up Hillside Avenue, not the first block of Hillside Avenue, but just as soon as you cross over Lincoln Avenue, I believe it's about 2 or 3 houses from Lincoln Avenue. There's a sinkhole, beginnings of a sinkhole right there in the middle of the street.
Okay, I got it.
And as far as
oh, there's no battery recycling.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Director Mays, do you know if the county has one?
I can find out. I'm not sure.
Would you find out and maybe we can promote that? And I just want to say, you got a busy schedule in the morning. You got a lot of locations.
It's going to take me more than one day. It normally takes me a couple of days.
I'm going to track you tomorrow.
Well, Council President,
Yes, Councilman. Roy.
the liaison is on from the county. Ask him, is there a recycle for the battery?
Mr. Bledsoe, do you know? Is he still there?
No, I think you might.
Yes, he's there.
Yes,
Oh,
we do host a battery recycle drive. I believe we just recently had one that passed already. But I can check with the Department of Public Works when there will be a new collection of those type of materials.
Could you do that and provide it to our city clerk so that they can have it posted on the website?
That yes, and I normally send those, and I believe, Madam Clerk, I did send you the dates that we had recently. So.
Okay, thank you. I see no other hands. I think we recognize everybody. So let's move the agenda.
Is there a motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close citizen comments, Ross.
Second. Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Coley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Council comments?
We're gonna start with Honorable Councilman Coley.
Oh, you know what, Council President? This has been a very long week for me. I have a lot of things going on, and I'm just going to reserve my comments because I don't want to say something that is too personal. So I'll just yield my time, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hilbert.
Thank you, Council President. I'm just going to use my time to just ask some more questions in regards to the West Ward. I forgot to ask the business administrator. So in the West Ward, we currently have 2 apartment buildings. We have 2 construction sites, one at Lincoln and Highland, and another one over at Mountain Avenue and Scotland Road. The question on the table is, when the residents need to reach out to somebody regarding dirt, rodent issues, they're supposed to reach out to the city inspectors, correct? Could we get that number for like the weekend as well? Is there like a special number for that?
There's an inspector on weekends. I can get you his phone number tomorrow.
Okay. In regards to the site, thank you. Into regards to the site on Mountain Avenue, the residents there are complaining about a lot of dirt, and a lot of this is ending up on their property. And they were wondering if when the site was going to put up like a tarp around its fencing, just to kind of help deter some of that, keep it within its own boundaries a little bit, because a lot of people are upset with the overflow coming from the construction sites.
I can speak to the developer. I'm not sure that I think most of the dirt's coming from the demolition. Is that correct?
I couldn't really tell when I was driving by myself, because I think they were like digging. I don't think they were knocking anything down. I think they were just like digging.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like a lot of red dirt.
We'll check, and if they need to, make them have a water truck.
That was another thing. They were supposed to have a water truck and they didn't. So they actually asked the resident if they could use her water.
They can make those arrangements if they wish to.
No, it was just for that one day. She wasn't pleased about it, but she said yes, just so that her side of the street or her house was cleaned. But she doesn't want to continue that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just gonna come back and ask, like, are these a part of the agreement? Do we just need to go back and remind them, like, hey, this is what's needed just to keep the peace on Mountain View? Because it'll be really
Water
hard.
trucks are actually, part of the code. It's part of the construction process where they're supposed to have a water source in order to damp down dirt.
Okay. All right. So I'll follow up with her, and then whenever you could, please share the number for the inspector.
Sure.
And the other question was also regarding the parking. Did we address anything regarding permit parking and the parking for Lincoln Avenue?
We're still meeting.
We're still meeting. Who's we?
It's myself, the law department, and some people who handle parking within the city.
Okay. All right. So I do see something here regarding permit parking, but I'm gonna reserve my question. So the parking for Lincoln Avenue and Highland, we're still not sure when we're gonna have that meeting with Peak.
I had a preliminary meeting with Peak this past week, last Friday.
Ooh, okay. Is it good news?
It's an ongoing negotiation.
Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you so much, Business Administrator. I'm gonna pivot right off of Peak. I do want to say, I am pleased to see that they had the Good Neighbor program that they're going to be working on. I believe that that is good legislation, or not legislation. I feel like that's a good partnership, community partnership, where we're focusing on Orange residents and we're giving them an opportunity to live in the new apartments that are being constructed in our community. The construction phase is the ugly phase. But hopefully moving forward, once these two buildings are completed, then we could get back to being a community here in our area in the West Ward, because we got a lot going on. Roads getting shut down, people not happy, but I get a lot of phone calls. You don't get them, Business Administrator. I'm getting them. Yeah, I'm getting them. But like I said, it's just follow up, and I appreciate you for being available to answer those questions. And I also want to say thank you to the vendors who came out for the carnival this past weekend. It was a wonderful experience. I got to see a lot of residents there. And I want us to continue doing great things in the community and can't wait for the summer. So that's the remainder of my time. I will see you guys in the next meeting. Oh no, I'll see you all tomorrow for the budget process. Good times. Thank you so much, Council President.
You're welcome. Councilman Montague?
Good evening, everyone. I have one question for,
Can you turn your camera on, please?
oh, I'm sorry. This goes out to Niall. Is Niall here?
Yes, our CFO is here. Mr. Clements?
Council President, Councilman Montague.
How you doing? Good evening. I want to know, could you provide the council with a list of the current community benefits amounts for each project in the city of Orange?
Sure.
And how much, the exact amount that is, in that till? Also, I also needed a list of, because we have a company that we paid to do grants for us, correct? Millennium?
Yes.
Yes. Can I have a list of all the grants that, they did during the last, fiscal year?
So I provide the council or the clerk with an annual report. I also provide the clerk with the monthly report.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got one.
Okay.
I'll give you the annual report from the end of 2023, and I'll give you the monthly reports for the first 5 months of 24.
I really appreciate that. And I got most of my answer covered during the council briefing at the beginning of the meeting, so I'm going to defer. Just to let you know, I'm still going through some issues, some family matters. It's not getting better, but That's life. So I'm going to defer to my council colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Ross?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I just want to make an announcement, or I'm going to get slapped in the back of my bald head. I'm about the Police Community Council meeting. Maxine Johnson asked me to make this announcement that on June 13th is the meeting. And as you know, it's at the Police Department, 29 Park Street, and it's at 7 p.m. The Police CC meeting on Thursday, June the 13th, 7 p.m. to 8:30 at the Police Department. Okay, and one other thing, I just want to say congratulations to all the recent college graduates, and I wish all of you success in your future endeavors. And I also want to end in just saying Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Greetings all, good evening. First, I just want to say that tonight let us know that we definitely need to be back in person. These Zoom bombers is just becoming overwhelming in 2024, that we still have to hear these derogatory terms. It's just becoming too much. If we can't get back in, I know July is the inauguration, maybe push for September, but we just definitely need to get back in person. We have a lot of new residents, and this is definitely like a force. Hear me, is the volume on? We just can't continue like this. COVID was like 2020, and we're back in the classrooms. People are back at work. We have to be back in person, because this tonight let me know, we're still doing this. Another thing, a lot of times residents come on, they say, oh, I contacted this department and that department. I'm going to ask that resident CC, if you don't want to CC your council member, CC another council member, because a lot of times we get blamed for directors not getting back to residents, and we have no clue that you even contacted them or what the situation is. I've literally gotten to the point where I screenshot when I communicate with directors, so that they understand that I did speak to someone. Yes, we're going to get to it this week. I've been dealing with Public Works for the past 2 weeks about a lot on Lincoln. They did the first phase of cleaning it, for example. They're going to do the second before Friday, like things like that. That allows me to be in the circle. I heard Council President mention something about a meeting, but I know that has to be a mistake, because I know there was not a meeting about anything dealing with the South Ward that I did not receive an invitation to. So I know that that must have been some sort of mistake. I know that there was no meeting with anyone on Haywood Avenue about noise or neighborhood getting along or anything like that without an invitation from Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Because those secret meetings and things, they're very dangerous. I've said this on countless occasions. Everybody gets invited or no one gets invited. Congrats to all the winners from yesterday. Yes, the numbers were low, but I just want to say this. Everyone in my house votes by mail. I'm the only one that votes in person, and I vote in person because I bring my youngest son so he can, go through the process with me. He gets a sticker at the end, and then I make him tell me what I just did, so that I'm raising a civically minded child. That's what it's going to come to. Each one teach one, each one bring one. If you want to do a mail-in ballot, like I said, they come like a month or two before the election. You also get a sample ballot mailed to your house. So if you're not getting a sample ballot mailed to your house, you either are not registered to vote or they don't have the correct address. And that's something you need to bring to the clerk's attention prior to the election. We have a serious election coming up in November. There are no more games to be played. I know that if that person whose name starts with a T gets in office, we'll probably be back in slavery time. So if we have not figured out that this is a vote or die time, we need to figure it out now. So as far as the low numbers, it's not their prerogative to have low numbers. They just can't say that they didn't know.
They cannot say they didn't know it was an election. They cannot say that they did not receive whatever and that they did nothing about it. Now it's all hands on deck. We keep bringing up sidewalks. I cringe every time a resident gets on here and mentions something about a sidewalk. I'm going to say this for the 100th time. We have to be very, very clear. If we are doing sidewalks and it is for, it came with the street or something like that, we need to be clear, because as far as I know, the sidewalk repair is the responsibility of the resident. So I heard a resident say something about she almost fell. And then in another meeting, a resident said, I almost fell. Who do I send a medical bill to? We're going to start getting medical bills for sidewalks that are not our responsibility. So I think we need to be very clear when we say we're doing sidewalks. Why are we doing them? Who are we doing them for? What's the reasoning? And I just want to end on, I think I got 26 seconds. So I'm going to say this real quick. I hope I can get it in. I know the name calling is bad. I know firsthand because I know myself, Mayor Warren, and Councilwoman Wooten, we raised the LGBT flag last year. And I remember that a resident got on and said it was the equivalent of a white supremacist or something like that, raising a Black Lives Matter flag. So trust me, I know all about name calling. That's why I don't call names. And I'm just going to end on asking for prayers for my father. He has been hospitalized. I guess it's going on 2 weeks now. As Monty said, life is lifing. We are human, but when we get into these meetings, I just want to make sure that we are, keeping it with the conducting business. And I don't have a problem. Then there.
Councilman Summers Johnson, you're cutting in and out. We're losing you. We lost you.
I'm sorry. I'm finished. Thank you, Council President.
All right. Councilwoman Wooten? Councilwoman Wooten, you're muted. You're muted.
Hold on, I think she got kicked out and had to come back in, so give me a second to make her. Okay, try it now, Councilwoman. There we go.
Good, thank you. First of all, I just want to say that death is happening so much more rampant in our community to people that we actually know and that we love in our community. Tonight, I attended, while I was on the city council meeting, a visual for 2 young men that lost their lives on 78, I think it was Sunday, in a motorcycle accident. They were riding with each other, and no one really knows what happened unless there were witnesses to this event. It was hundreds of people there, hundreds of motorcycles there. We were in Weequahic Park. It was a peaceful rally. They let balloons go at the end of the rally, just totally peaceful. And that's the way that we have to be. There was so much, and you don't want to use a word as strong as unrest, but unrest in our community, in the city of Orange Township. As Councilwoman Summers Johnson said, there's name calling. There are things being said about people that you don't necessarily know, all types of things. And I just want to say, from my family to your family, can we just be peaceful about the things that we do in our city and in our world? I wanted to talk to you a bit about Resolution 312, 2024, and it's a resolution saying that we support legislation S721, which was legislation that was signed by Governor Phil Murphy regarding active shooters or mass shootings. As you know, shootings of any sort are important to me and my family. Due to a tragic that we experienced. And I have made it my business to try to deal with gun violence. I am not going to get up and say that because we have stronger laws and we have to go through mental health background checks and those type things will save someone's life, because the gun that killed my son, that person didn't have a permit to carry a gun. And it wasn't a legal gun. So what I've decided to do instead was to educate people and to try to save people's lives. This legislation that was adopted said if you were a facility that could hold over 5,000 or more people, you had to turn into the police department the schematics of your building. So what I'm doing, I'm holding a meeting on June 15th with area pastors and ministers, maybe club owners, restaurants, for people who have a lot of people in attendance. And if something like that happen, you need to know how to get out of the building. But more importantly, when the police respond, they need to know how to come in and get you. So I just ask that my council colleagues vote for 3/12/2024. Council President Easton, that's all I have. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, fantastic Father's Day, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Councilman Wooten. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. All of our men and mothers that are raising children. Enjoy your day with your family and loved one. And one thing I want to correct that Councilwoman Summer Johnson said, that I don't know why you weren't at that meeting, but there was a meeting that was spearheaded by the police department trying to get that little community together about the noise and all of that. Our police chief and some of the officers held that meeting with the residents from the South Ward. And Reverend Anthony Mitchell was one of those that wanted the meeting. So it did happen. I'm sorry you weren't invited. I didn't go because I had a conflict and maybe you had but the meeting did happen. I just want to clarify that. And I want to say to everybody, enjoy the rest and thank you to all the residents that came on tonight to voice their concerns. We will address them. And Marty has a busy day tomorrow. He has a lot of sites he has to visit. I will follow up with you tomorrow. But everybody, thank you. And we do appreciate your concerns and we will address them as we go along. And if you don't get follow-up, please contact your council person so that we can stay on top of these things and you don't feel like when you come to the next meeting, nobody addressed your issues. So thank you very much. Please move the agenda.
Ordinance on second reading, public hearing, 24-2021, an ordinance to amend the city code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 4, entitled Administration of Government, article 2, City Council, section 15, entitled City Clerk. It's been postponed since July 1st, 2021, and the recommendation is to vote it down. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second, Ross.
Motion to adopt by Council Member Easton, second by Council Member Ross. On the motion, seeing a roll call. Council Member Coley.
No.
Council Member Hilbert.
No.
Council Member Montague III.
No.
Council Member Ross.
No.
Council Member Summers Johnson.
No.
Council Member Wooten.
No.
And Council President Easton.
No.
Okay, so the motion did not pass and it was voted down. 13-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 210 of the City of Orange Township Municipal Code entitled Development Regulations to revise the definition of retail sales to include personal service establishment. This was tabled at the April 16th, 2024 council meeting. The motion is the recommendation is to remain tabled. Is there a motion?
Motion to remain tabled, Ross.
Second, Montague.
Motion to remain tabled by Council Member Ross, second by Council Member Montague III on the motion. Seeing on roll call. Council Member Coley.
Yes.
Council Member Hilbert.
Yes.
Council Member Montague III.
Yes.
Council Member Ross.
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Councilmember Eason.
Yes.
This item will remain tabled. Um, 21-2024, an ordinance to amend chapter 200-32 and chapter 200-38 of the City of Orange Township Code, Franklin Street. Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Frankfurt Street.
Motion to close citizen comments.
Motion to close citizens' comments.
There's a second.
Ross.
Motion to close citizen comments by Councilmember Montague III, second by Councilmember Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 22-20.
Motion to adopt.
Joyce, you gotta do the motion to adopt.
They just did a motion to remain
That was
tabled.
That was the
No, that was
citizen comments.
Oh, sorry. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second, Hilbert.
Adopt by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Hilbert. On the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
yes. Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed, item is adopted. 22-2024, an ordinance to amend chapter 200-33 of the City of Orange Township Code. Are there any citizens who wish to speak? Motion to close citizen comments.
Hand raised.
You do have a
Wait,
hand
I'm
up.
sorry, Ms. Tennant? Ms. Tennant?
Sorry, hit it again.
Point of order.
Okay, got it.
Point of order, Ms. Lanier,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there a motion to table this? That was a recommendation.
Yeah, that's the, recommendation.
Did you make the motion to table it?
No, I made the motion to see if any citizen has something to speak. If you want me to go back and just table it, that's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a motion to table this?
Move Wooten.
Second, Montague.
Motion to table by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Montague III. Anyone on the motion?
On the motion?
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes. Council President, could you share why it's being tabled?
I think. Let me pull it.
But the recommendation was that they needed more information.
They needed more information for that area or? in
Yes.
regards- Okay,
Yeah.
more information. Okay.
Wait.
Councilmember Coley on the motion to table,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson, Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
This item will be tabled pending more information. Ordinance on introduction, first reading. 27-2024, an ordinance amending 200-37 entitled Schedule 6 Truck exclusions, adding section A entitled Restriction of Commercial Trucks School Zone. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move Wooten.
Second Coley.
Motion by Council Member Wooten, second by Council Member Coley on the motion. Seeing the roll call, Council Member Coley,
Yes.
Council Member Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Member Montague the third,
Yes.
Council Member Ross,
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council Member Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. 28-2024, an ordinance amending chapter 200.10.2 entitled Residential Parking Permit Parking Zone A. Permit parking hours on Oakwood Avenue between Central Avenue and Carroll Street. The recommendation is for this to be tabled. Is there a motion?
Motion to table, Ross.
Second Coley.
Table by Council Member Ross, second by Council Member Coley on the motion.
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Wooten.
I just wanted it to be added. I'm going to speak to the funeral home, but I just want it to be on the record that that funeral home has, I think, 3 parking lots. They will have one across the street from the funeral home. They have one behind the funeral home, and they can use the school lot that's adjacent to the funeral home. And it will probably be amended because I think there is no parking permitted at all from Wilson to Perot Street.
Okay. Okay. Alrighty, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else on the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Council Member Coley,
Yes.
Council Member Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Member Montague the third,
Yes.
Council Member Ross,
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council Member Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
So this item has been tabled. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Council members, are there any items that you wish to remove for a separate vote?
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Hilbert.
I would like to move 306-2024.
Okay.
Any other items? Seeing none. The consent agenda consists of 302, 303, 304, 305, 307, 308, 309, 310, 311, 312, 313, and 314. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt, Ross.
Second.
Second.
I'm not sure if it was Hilbert or Wooten.
Doesn't
And I didn't catch it.
Okay, second by Council Member Wooten on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Council Member Coley,
Yes.
Council Member Hilbert,
Yes.
Council Member Montague the third,
Yes.
Council Member Ross,
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council Member Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. 306-2024, a resolution extending the agreement between Laganapi Louisiana Foods Specialties, Inc., and the City of Orange Township for the calendar year 2024, an amount not to exceed $7,200. Is there a motion?
Council
Motion.
President, I don't have a
Hold
motion.
on. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Eason. Is there a second?
Montague.
Second by Councilmember Montague the third. On the motion,
Councilwoman Hilbert.
I was saying I don't have a motion. I just need to abstain.
Okay.
Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
All right. Sorry,
Councilmember-
I needed to clarify. I needed to abstain for business reasons. Nothing
Councilmember,
against the business. Thank you.
Councilmember Hilbert, abstain.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
That's 6 yeas and 1 abstain, motion passed. Council members, we have 2 walk-ons. 315-2024 WO, a resolution ratifying and authorizing a contract for service with Power DMS located at 101 South Garfield Avenue, Suite 300, Orlando, Florida, 32801 to maintain electronic document management for 5 fire policies within the Orange Fire Department from May 4th, 2024 until May 3rd, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $9,543.38. And 316-2024, a resolution approving the bill list for council meeting vote on January 5th, 2024, and approving checks for the municipal election issued by the Finance Department in accordance with Ordinance 2-95. The grand total is $24,787. Is there a motion to walk these 2 items on?
Move, Wooten.
Second, Montague.
Motion to walk the items on by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Montague, third on the motion. Seeing a roll call, Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
316-2024 WO, resolution approving the bill list for council meeting vote on June 5th, 2024, and approving checks for the municipal election issued by the Finance Department in accordance with Ordinance 2-95, grand total $24,787. Is there a motion to walk this item on?
We already walked it on.
Walked it on.
Did I walk both of them on at the same time?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Good. So 315-2024, the walk-on, a resolution ratifying and authorizing a contract for services with Power DMS located at 101 South Garland Avenue, Suite 300, Orlando, Florida, 32801, to maintain the electronic document management for fire policies within the Orange Fire Department from May 4th, 2024 and May 3rd, 2025, in an amount not to exceed $9,543.38. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move, Wooten.
Second, Coley.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Coley on the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. 316-2024 WO, a resolution approving the bill list for council meeting vote on January 5th, 2024, and approving checks for the municipal election issued by the finance department in accordance with ordinance 2-95, grand total $24,787. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Hilbert.
Motion to adopt by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Hilbert. On the motion?
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Wooten.
I just want to say thank you so much to the CFO and to the clerk. As soon as we walked into Oakwood Avenue School yesterday, they were like, when are we gonna get paid? So I just want to say thank you for acting so fast. I'm gonna send out some text messages and let them know that we approve this. Hopefully we approve this, but thank y'all.
Anyone else on the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Yes.
Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. Council members, is there any other business to discuss? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move, Wooten. Second, Wooten.
Okay, so wait, who was the motion?
It was Wooten and Montiel.
Okay, so motion moved by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Montague III.
Yes.
On that motion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned at 10:02 p.m. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.